Can we do it?
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Vibration, where we empower individuals to speak their distinct truth, passions, and personal message on a global stage. I'm your host, Michelle McDonald, passionate author, speaker, and entrepreneur. And today we have a very special guest who is a huge part of our theme celebrating the creatives and arts of the Bahamas. I welcome to the stage V.
Hello, thank you, thank you. In my head, there was applause going on, like,
Oh, yes, yes.
"Ah." It's okay, because I did it in my head. Hello, world.
So, V, for
Yes.
those persons who may not know you, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, so I'm a teacher. I'm an educator. At heart, I am a creative. I write. I act. I dance. I do it all. I love it. I love the theater. I'm a pirate. I'm a mermaid. You name it, and it's me. That's pretty much me.
Yeah, you definitely are doing it all. And one of the
yeah.
things that I love that you started out with is that you are a teacher.
Yes.
Now, I have to say, educators have a very special place in my heart. I have my favorite teachers who I still know and talk to this day. Special shout out to Ms. Singh, Mr. Smith, and Senorita Adams. They've made a huge impact in my life. So, when it comes to teaching, education, how does that play a part in you being a creative?
Well, honestly, starting from before I became a teacher, I was one of those kids who could not keep still. I was one of those kids who I do my work and then need something else to kind of keep me busy. And so I had teachers who understood that. They knew I was just a little weird. They knew I had too much energy. And so I had like Miss Bain and Miss Mott, they would let me write in class once I was done.
Nice.
And I had this teacher, Miss Hutchinson, she would always have creative projects. So I would always be able to use that energy. And so having those kind of teachers, and even my mom, who's a teacher, like it inspired me to say, okay, let me get into the classroom and be that for my kids. And so automatically, as soon as I got into teaching, I had drama club. I'm a theater kid.
Gotta have it.
I had to have it, and it just the biggest impact that education has provided me is honestly my kids.
Aww.
Yeah, I have the bond that I've created with some of my kids is priceless. They're my babies. They know that for life. I would go to the ends of the earth for them, and I account that with my drama club because if anyone knows theater and you're in a production, you're working with each other for months at a time, and you have to be vulnerable because it's not just a script. You have to break that down. You have to go into some other place to find this character. Just having those moments, and trust me, having a drama club is not easy.
I can imagine.
It is not easy.
With those kids, oh my goodness, patience.
No, not even the kids. My kids were the easiest part of my drama club, honestly. Like, because for me, we had this whole little thing of let your freak flag fly. So if you were just a kid if you were interested in something creative. So I had kids who were interested in drawing, did not want to be on stage, but they just wanted to just be involved. I would have them in and they would either design my costumes, design sets, and I'll find someone to make these things. And, like I provide a space for anyone who wanted to be there. So that made it easy.
Nice. Okay.
But now finding a place for those kids to now
that's true.
perform and showcase it, and not always getting support from school. They only wanting you for assembly. They don't want you to branch out. And then when I had the opportunity, like I was able to like take my kids on English in the Park and they would perform.
Ooh.
We did that for 3 years.
That's that concept.
It was, yeah. And it was because when I was in COB, I did some stuff with English in the Park. So when they found out, they was like, oh, you have a drama club? Yeah, bring your kids. And so it was just a thing. But even like now arranging for field trips, okay, I need to pull these kids. No, you can't pull them, blah, 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 blah. But for sports day, it's fine.
Oh, yeah.
Other things, it's fine. So my club, the kids were amazing, and then having them understand that, and their desire to still push, and their desire to still create, and their passion, like, Ms. Roll, we really want to do this. Like, it made our bond stronger because they saw the greater picture in what they did. They saw the value in what they did, and like having kids with that strong sense of self and that desire to be creative.
Yes.
It pushed me to keep creating that space for them. And then it just turned into this beautiful relationship. And I am still close with all of my, like, yeah, one of my kids, Dahavian, she was the one who helped me become a mermaid. Like,
Really?
yeah,
We have to hear the story.
yeah. So I had quit education. I was like, I'm done. Get out. I had to. I liberated myself, and I was looking for something to do. And I was like, I always wanted to be a mermaid and a free diver. And I saw this, I saw that they had a session, and I was like, man, I'm running low on cash. I can't really afford it. And one of my kids, she was like, Miss Roll, here. And she sends me the money to do this course. And I'm like, are you serious? And she's like, Miss Roll, for everything you've done for me,
Like,
this is
nothing.
yeah. And like, it always touches me to see how my kids kind of take care of me. And then when I did it, my cousins who were also in my drama club, like, they let me crash with them. Like, when I said my kids actually came in support to just help me make sure that I had funding, or I had someplace to stay, or if I had, like, it was such an honor. Like, it's a momentum moment for me because now they're grown and they're like, yeah, but we still got you.
Yeah.
And so whenever I use my tail, it's for them. It's for my kids, because I wouldn't have had it, honestly, without their assistance. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that is beautiful. And I think that speaks volumes to not just the role of a teacher and how impactful they can be changing lives, but also being able to see these students.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people don't realize that when these kids go to school, this is the only environment that they feel seen, heard, valued, respected. They can dream again. They can live.
And it's so important. I think in our society, we are so caught up in trying to have kids feel like they need a safe or stable job or secure job. And that's normally, okay, a government job. And that's not knocking government work. Everyone is needed, for every role is needed for a society to function. But that also includes the creative.
Yes.
And so for me, like, if I get one more story, like, I have a tattoo. So this tattoo is also a story. I don't know if people can see it, but so I got this tattoo. One of my students, she designed it for me.
Wow.
And she is an amazing artist, Alrika. She does amazing work. People have seen her work, and she does a lot of different things. But at school, they were trying to get her to do business, and I'm like, okay, that's fine. Learn the business aspect, but if her passion, her talent, her skill, like, she can get paid for doing this work. And so when she, like life again, trying to figure out what to do, I was like,
Yeah.
girl, design. I want a tattoo. I want you to design. She's like, you sure? I was like, yeah. And I called her. I was like, girl, I getting it on you. She's like, what? And I was like, yes. I was like, I believe so much in what you do.
Oh,
And I would not put it on me if I did not believe in your talent, in your
that's
work.
true. Yes.
And so it's so, and it's little things. I say, tattoo your body or whatever. You don't have to do big things, but it's just allowing them to be seen.
Yes.
And allowing them a place to showcase their talent and their skill, whatever it is. And giving them that safe space, and also providing that guidance and reinforcement. Like, that is typically the best job of a teacher. That is our purpose, creating a safe space for a child to really grow and develop themselves and figure out who they are. And for me, it was easier to do that in the drama club, in those sessions, because we could get real, and I didn't have to worry about curriculum, and I didn't have to worry about turning in lesson plans. Like, that was a moment where I could even put down my role as Miss Roll and just be Miss Roll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone that they can relate to, have fun with, talk to, all of that.
And they need it. And it's high school. that's high school is such a critical time with finding identity and figuring out who you are and who you want to be and preparing for the real world and not being hurt by your parents and feeling
Yes.
like adults don't understand. It's so important to kind of be that and be like, okay, we hear you, come on. I was a kid too. And it's easy because they're not my kids, so I don't have like the mortifications that a parent would have. Like, I could be real with you. I'm like, okay, yeah, this is dumb. Why are you doing this? Stop doing it. Like, you could have those real conversations and help them really develop to be really good, decent people. And that is always our job. And that's not even as teachers, as people, to make sure that the kids around us are able to have that safe place to grow and develop. And that's why I love theater, because it gives them a space to come outside of themselves.
Yes.
It gives them a space where they have to analyze and dissect and figure out why. And so they start to apply that into their real lives. Like, why am I really mad right now? Is there a different way I can express my anger? And like, that's why I challenge it. Like, why did you raise your voice here?
Yeah.
Can you show me another way to be angry? Can you? And it's crazy how they can still apply that to their regular life, and they can apply that to social settings, and that's because that's really what the world is, right? Us
Yeah.
interacting and trying to be the best versions of ourselves with a lot of people, a lot.
Millions, billions.
Yeah. So that's yeah. I'm talking a lot. Sorry, I talk. I'm a talker. I get excited. I really love education. I love what I do. I just really hate the system. I despise.
Do you think that there's something that can be done so that students can feel more represented if they want to be a creative?
For schools, we just need to honestly really take a look at the curriculum. The curriculum for a lot of different subjects have not changed in decades, and I'm not kidding. Like, if you look, some of the curriculum's objectives or equipment involves tape recorders. Who uses the tape exactly?
What?
Like, so many, the technology in and of itself is outdated, and we can't keep using that. And I think the problem is with our system is that we treat all of our subjects separately, and the truth of it is that everything is connected, everything is
It is,
interrelated.
yes.
So if we can find a way to create a curriculum where everyone's helping each other, because for me, I do English, but I have kids who love music. I have kids who are really great with their hands. So I can't just give a kid an expository essay and say, write this. I say, okay, make a video,
Yeah.
do this, make something,
Speak
bake
their
something.
language.
Exactly. And if we get more creative and we have a space if educators had the space and the proper resources needed, not just 2 markers and some binders for the year, if we actually had real resources and support from the schools as well as the parents, you'll be surprised at how our kids would astound us. Because not every kid is going to be academic, but it's not mean that they're not capable of learning.
Yes.
You know, there's a saying: if you judge a fish's ability to climb a tree, you will always think it's stupid or something like that, right? In a sense of, you have to figure out where they're at and
Yes.
meet them at their skills, and then
Yes.
expand that. A fish will never climb a tree, but my God, can it swim?
Very
And if
well, yeah.
we cater to that, then amazing things can happen. Or, because I know that's a process.
Yes.
For other creators, for young kids who are just looking for a space, there's the Natural Arts Festival. I'm putting a nice little segue into that. That's also something that I do.
Yes.
I had the blessing of being the drama adjudicator this year and last, and that's a really fun platform. And when I say that the kids traveling the entire Bahamas and seeing these kids sing, dance, act, paint, like it is, the talent is so there. And one thing that I really appreciate what they're doing now with the E. Clement Bethel National Arts Festival, it's recorded. It's
Nice.
It's broadcasted live. It's live streamed, so you could see it, you could record it, you could, and so now there's an audience. So even if you don't feel like you're heard or seen in Acklands or in Andros or wherever, now there's a stage. You have a stage. And when I say these kids are talented, oh, listen, these kids are so talented, oh, like I had kids who blew my mind when I seriously blew my mind doing things that adults I'm trying I was like I was like I can't even do this, like what you did just now,
Right.
I was like, wow, that you made that choice as such a book, so and that is something that a lot of schools again don't push as much or as often, but that's something that I would definitely extend to any kid. And even if and this is me talking to you kids out there, if you are creative, you want to do it, you don't have to go through the school to do it. You could do it on your own and send your email, send your contact on Facebook, the National Arts Festival, and you'll get the information. And you'll be surprised of the growth. I saw some kids last year who returned this year, and I saw the growth in that short space of time.
That's awesome.
With the feedback, yeah. So there's a space, but if we all just work together, we can have a bigger space.
Yes, I agree. And I love that is available to them and that you're able to share that information, because there are parents who want to know, those aunties and uncles who are really involved in their lives, them godparents, and just the kids themselves. They're seeking, they're searching, they're yearning for something like that. And so it's good that you're able to put that out there for them to be able to find and connect with.
Yes.
One thing that you said that really, really stands out, identity.
Yes.
And just how important it is for us, and especially kids, because they don't really know what that is. They're just kind of learning it as they grow up.
Yeah.
But for you, you deeply connect identity to Bahamian culture. And that's a part of how you express your creativity. So tell us a bit more about that.
The thing, so our culture is our fingerprint, right? Our culture represents who we are, and a part of our culture is storytelling.
Absolutely.
Our culture is music. Our culture is dance. Our culture is rhythm. And so I find that it's so important, so important that we tell more of those stories. We tell more of our own stories, and then we adapt it, right? So we grew up on Babuki and Barabi. We grew up on ring play. I remember going outside and having to sneak. This time I as a prefect and I had school and I looking, but I also making sure no one else coming around, but I want to go in for brown girl in the ring because I want to be that brown girl in the ring next.
Okay.
But it's so important now for us to pull all of those things.
Yes.
And make it modern and make it in a way that kids can appreciate it and understand that this is who we are, and this is why certain things are in place. This is why we tell stories with all of our bodies. That's in connection with our African heritage and doing ring play dances and stuff like that, the fire dances. It's important that we integrate those things, and even if we don't put them into our stories directly, we share with those kids, and we have those moments where we can explain, okay, this is why we do this. This is why we play in Tweedledee in this scene. This is why, because it makes them appreciate it, but they appreciate it in a way that is digestible as well. And I think that is something that we really lack now, just finding an easier way. We can't, Ronnie Butler is such an amazing storyteller in his music, right? He was iconic, and we still have so many other great musicians
Absolutely.
who are still doing, who are still creating great music. And then we have up and coming artists, and it's important to encourage up and coming artists because they're also sampling from the greats, and it's keeping as much of our culture in the forefront so that they have an idea. You don't have to just go on Netflix and look at television. There's entertainment here.
Yes.
And not only, and something I always I tell my kid, anyone, especially because I like this is more so because I like anime, and people are like, oh, anime is flat. It's the same approach to culture.
Okay.
If you don't see something that you like, there's always something for you.
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't see something that if you're not seeing anything you like, then create it.
Absolutely. Yes.
Create it.
Yes.
Because at the end of the day, there are never too many stories. They're not. There's never going to be too much of your own thing. And the more we get kids practicing and get people involved, and not just kids, like getting adult audiences to come out to theaters, to come out and watch a play, to come out to a concert, to come out and support Bahamian things, then we have this. Now we understand why that feeling of appreciation. And it's more than just John Canoe. And we resonate so easily with John Canoe because we always see it. We know when a goat skin drum, we feel it all of a sudden. We get hail, Mother Africa in us. We can hear it. But it's because we always see it. It's because we know John Canoe is always going to come around the same time. And so it's so important for us to keep having those stories and keep putting things out and keep putting it in their faces, and also inviting them to join and add to it, because then they have an understanding of themselves. They have an understanding of their voice, and they grow to now have the courage to share that voice and share that story. And they share it, whether in dance, they share it through their art, they share it through music, they share it through a song. That is why culture is so important. And that's why it's so important to share, because we reinforce everything that we know. And then that is also now, that becomes fellowship. And that's also a part of our culture, coming together as a people. And
we love to do it.
And exactly. So instead of sitting at a bar and just drinking and calling that fellowship, we do it now at a play. We do it now at a dance recital. We do it now at the beach, But I hope I answered your question.
You did, absolutely.
Because I was talking, but I don't know if I'm answering these right, but that's why culture is so important. And I grew up with all my family who always told me stories, who kept me involved, and that's why I have an appreciation. My grandma's from Auckland. She was telling me stories about growing up in Auckland. My dad was from Cat Island. He was telling me stories about Cat Island. My granddad is from Andros.
Yes.
And it's through those stories it made me a theater kid. It made me want to perform. My mom used to take me out to watch James Catlin and Friends.
What?
And I was like, I want to meet James. My granddad would let me read editorials in the newspapers, and that's how I found out about Ian Strawn. And I started to love just Bahamian writing.
That's
you
really
have
cool.
to put it in front of them
for them to know.
Yes.
And
you'll be surprised what they cling to and what they find amazing and what they want to keep around. So it's that's the importance of culture and giving them that exposure, so that they can see themselves, appreciate themselves, and find themselves, and then find a way to send that out to the world. Yeah, that's my PSA for a brighter future.
Got it.
V for president.
So, V, we have our rapid fire moment.
Okay.
So I want you to just respond with the very first thing you can think of, okay? I don't know if I trust that laugh.
Let's go. This is going to be fun. All right.
Okay, if your students could describe you in one word, what would it be?
Crazy.
Name a short tales play.
Small talk.
Finish the song. Mama baked that Johnny cake.
Christmas coming.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
That was on point, girl. You passed.
I was nervous.
So, V, with every piece that you have written, produced, or directed, what has had the biggest impact on you?
Wicked. So, and it's back to teaching. When my kids, we fell in love with musical theater. My drama club was big. I had about 30-something kids in this club with me facilitating. And I wanted to showcase all of their talent. I had kids who wanted to do stunts, who wanted to do choreography. And so I said, let's do a musical. And we fell in love with Wicked, and we adapted it a bit for the Bahamian stage. And that was the most impactful, because I've never worked so hard to fight for something in my life. And it wasn't just me, it was my kids. And it literally took us a year and a half to produce because when we had funding, the funding got taken away, location got taken away. We were literally kicked out of the classrooms in the spaces that we were in. We were told to shut it down and not do it. We weren't allowed to use the school building, and so we had to find it. Like, it was just so much things that kept going wrong. But my kids were so resilient, and they're like, Miss Rolle, we want to do this. We want to do this. And there were so many nights where I cried. There were times, even up to the production day, the kids were supposed to come into school and they locked the gate. And when I said, I really saw community as well, because the Dundas family, they said, okay, you could use the black box. Don't worry about it, V. Just use use the space. I had a friend with a bus. He's like, I got you. Like, community came in. My sisters came and they helped run the front house. Like, I got so much support from my community. And then my kids were able to see my theater community.
Yeah.
And so, and there's a song in Wicked called For Good. And my kids, every time we sing it, I get teary because at the last night, that's the song that they sang for me. And it really shows the impact of working. And when I say the bond, sorry, I get, oh, wow.
It's okay.
Like, their love for me and their pushing, because they didn't have to do it. One of my kids got stripped of his prefect title because he was standing on wanting to make the show happen. He was not going to be threatened.
Wow.
And for me, that just showed me too, like, me loving what I do is not just for me. This is not only is this my purpose and my calling, but it's meant so that I can give voice to these people. And when I say, for all of my kids, they knew the struggle. It was not easy, but we still did the show. The show went on. Our drama club was Drama Lives On. And to see that the show went on and to see that my kids are shining and doing so well and they trust them, like, that, it bonded us. It cemented something magical and beautiful. And it really cemented my purpose in really just wanting to not just produce and write and direct, but to always just be a guiding light for anyone who wants to get into this and who's nervous or scared, and to let them know you will always have support. Like, there is a community for you out there. And that's the one thing I want to say. There's always a community out there. And that's what I think that had the most impact for me, because that made me resolute in my desire to produce and to pursue theater and to make a difference, not just in my community and not just in the classroom, but in our Commonwealth, like, expand it. And so, oh, child. Lord, these kids got me crying.
That's what they do. That's what they do. Dee, I thank you so much for sharing that moment of transparency, really letting us see the impact of education, our youth, just being there for them. You have inspired them beyond words, I'm absolutely sure. And for us,
they've inspired me.
our audience, you have given us so much to think about, so much to reconsider when it comes to our children, our teenagers, even young adults, just seeking to be seen, heard, represented, and how we can be better persons that showcase our culture and our identity. So I thank you so much for being here today, being our very special guest, and sharing so much with us.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. This was fun, and I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I'm glad that I can help and inspire.
You did. You definitely have. A very special thank you to our sponsor, Amber L, and also to our audience for watching. I invite you to join us next week for another episode of Vibration, where we raise your frequency and amplify your truth. Bye, everyone.